Hi guys! A long time ago, someone asked me to talk about how I got into meditation, and I said I would, but I never got around to it until just now. So let's talk about it. I grew up in a very strict Christian religion called Jehovah's Witnesses. The religion that I grew up in was so strict that my parents didn't celebrate any holidays, any birthdays, anything like that brought joy to life besides the Bible and religion. That was literally my childhood. We would go to church 3 times a week. The whole process of it would take 4 hours as far as getting ready, going, and then coming back home. And on the weekend, we would do the same thing. You guys know how Jehovah's Witnesses go from door to door, knocking on doors and talking to people about God. Yes, I was one of those kids. So that was my childhood. But unfortunately for me, around my teenage years, I realized that I was queer. And after being outed as being queer, I was kicked out of the church. So it was a time when I was looking for something to cling to help me feel connected to divinity. I've always felt very spiritual. I've always had a divine connection since I was a kid. So when I was kicked out of the church, I was looking for a way to reclaim that in a manner that felt authentic and real to me. In that search for world religions and that sense of connection, I discovered Hinduism, I discovered Buddhism, meditation, as well as yoga. And that's pretty much how my spiritual journey started. This story about me being removed from my parents' church isn't really a bad thing because, in true, Pluto in 10th house, Scorpio 10th house placement, my evolution comes from letting go, from evolving beyond the limitations of what were prescribed to me. So this is a theme that has shown up in my life multiple times, and every time I embrace the challenge of rediscovering who I am outside of the limitations that I've been comfortably staying within, and kind of creating a new space for myself. And oftentimes I am left feeling like renewed and stronger because of it. So even though I had no way of knowing it back then, my foray into Eastern religions really brought me a sense of understanding of world religions because, I grew up with Western religion. So it expanded my viewpoint. It also made me more open-minded to all religions because I see them all as a tool to connect to God, to divinity, whether you experience that God outside of yourself or within yourself. The bottom line is this kind of awareness of this power that we all have to work with in order to tap into our life's purpose and manifest the very best life for ourselves. So a win is a win. Out of that rejection, I got access to so much more information than I would have had I stayed like a caged bird, in that religion that I grew up with. So upon studying Eastern religions, I got deeper into meditation. I found that it brought me a lot of peace of mind and solace. I've tried several types of meditation over the years. My favorites are loving kindness meditation, transcendental meditation, gratitude meditation, and meditation around the 7 chakras. There's several types of meditations out there. If you're interested in meditation, I would encourage you to do some research so you can figure out which type is best for you. I can tell you which type is best for you based on your zodiac sign, based on, the experiences that I've had with meditation. But I don't think you need to necessarily be into Hinduism or Buddhism or astrology to be into meditation because science has already indicated that there's so many health benefits to meditation, that transcend spirituality. You don't have to be, you don't have to practice Hinduism or Buddhism to be someone who meditates. You can take that modality outside of that religious box and utilize it for your own mental health. As someone who struggles with ADHD and anxiety, I find meditation to be very soothing to my nervous system, to my brain. It really calms me down. I love meditating when I'm driving. I will meditate when I'm walking. I sometimes meditate when I'm cooking. It's really about mindfulness and awareness of my energy, of my thought process, and playing an active role in managing what goes on in here. So I'm not somebody that is living life carelessly and thoughtlessly without any sense of awareness of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and all of that. It's really important that to me that I increase my ability to be aware of myself, because it's only in doing that that I can be aware of you and the environment in which I live. Many people live their lives devoid of any sort of emotional intelligence, any sort of emotional awareness. And I just don't want to be one of those people. I want to be somebody that goes to therapy. I want to be somebody that sees a psychiatrist. I want to be somebody that meditates regularly, that exercises regularly, somebody that takes taking care of their mind and their body very seriously, as evidenced by their ability to create a regiment around how these things get done to keep me grounded, because I don't like feeling all out of sorts. So I'm very particular about some of these practices and how I utilize them to keep myself in my zen, especially during these times that we're living in. I mentioned to you guys before that this is a year of Aries. And what Aries as a zodiac sign struggles the most with in general is sensory integration, which is why they're hyperactive and hyper overly reactive to triggers. An Aries that has mastered their ability to control their triggers, control their emotions and stay centered even when they're being triggered is an unbeatable force of nature. Because Aries is naturally very powerful, very strong independently. Aries can do anything that they want to do in this world. They literally have a carte blanche to accomplish whatever goals that they want to accomplish. This is why Aries is exalted at the ego, okay? Nobody's more egotistical than an Aries, because Aries is supposed to use that ego to go for their dreams, to go for their goals, and to accomplish things that people thought were impossible until Aries came into the picture. So when you happen to have this energy at your sun, moon, or rising, it's important that you manage it, because when you don't, that aggression shows up in places where it doesn't belong, like in your home, with your spouse, with your children, in your intimate relationships. It's important to keep the aggression for times when that aggression is needed, like competing at work. That's understandable. You want to be at the top of your game. But when you come home to your spouse doesn't want your competitive energy. They want your collaboration. They want your support.
For more astrology content, you may follow all of our YouTube astrology channels. The first one being at Intuitive Healing for Astrology 101, at Styled Under Libra for Love, at Astrology Weekly for Horoscopes and Manifestation, and lastly, at Styled Under Virgo for Medical Astrology. You may check out intuitivehealing.com for astrology readings as well as healing crystals, and make sure to check out our manifestation group on Patreon at patreon.com/intuitivehealing. Catch you soon on the next video.